And with that, it is the return of Coach Tyvis. Tyvis, before we get into the Ronnie Hickman film, have you missed the Coach Tyvis role? Have you missed doing these kind of things for us and the UCSS audience?
Have I missed it? Yeah, I always enjoy being able to educate and teach people things about the game of football. I mean, that's just kind of the person that I am now. So, yeah, I missed it.
Well, we are excited to have you back. We're going to do a lot more Coach Tyvis during the football season. And today, Tyvis, tell the people who we're breaking down.
We are breaking down a former Buckeye, safety, near and dear to my heart, the position safety. Ronnie Hickman, who had a really big game. He had 2 good plays, but he also had a bad play. So I'll talk about those 3 plays in totality. Yeah, let's get to it.
Here's the first one. It was the first interception of the game for Ronnie Hickman just before the half. Tyvis, walk us through this.
Okay, so they come out. It looks like they're in cover 3. It's your typical cover 3. You got your hook droppers underneath. You got your buzz players. You got your corners on the top, and you got Ronnie Hickman who's playing in the post. And the thing that I like about this is, he's reading the quarterback. He's getting his depth. When you're playing at that post safety, the number one thing you want to do is you have to read the front tip of a quarterback's shoulder. And I'm giving y'all classified information. Y'all make sure y'all tell y'all kids about this too. If you read the front tip of your quarterback, he tells you where he's going with the ball and the way his shoulder. If his shoulder's up, it's going deep. If it's flat, that means it's something short. If you look at this quarterback, it's turned to the middle, it's cocked up like he's throwing it deep, so you know to get back. Ronnie Hickman does a great job of getting back there, making a play on the ball, playing center field, and he makes a great play on this ball. Would like him to be a little bit more deeper. I think he got caught a little bit looking in that backfield and let people get past him because you got to be the last line of defense. But he was able to come through and make a play on the ball, so it all worked out from there. Give credit to the pass rush, too.
We have the second angle of this, Tyvis, so we'll play that for the people here. Anthony, you can take that. This is the all-22 version, Tyvis, if you want to walk us through what you're seeing here as well.
So you get a great pass rush, boom. He sees the guy. You see how at the beginning of that clip, they put that tight end or that slot receiver. They run him down the middle and they sit him down. And Ronnie Hickman does a job of settling his feet. You can't do that. You see right there, he settles his feet. You cannot do that. They put the cheese in his face to try to throw that post behind him. He has to be disciplined enough to know that that's the hook player's player. He is to get deep, and if he does that, then he won't have to worry about this running underneath it. He'd be standing there, and it'd be essentially a punt return. But he still makes a good play on the ball and gets the interception and gets it down.
How much of a chance do we think he has of making the team?
Well, after Bubba Bolden went down, and after making 2 plays like this, if he finds some value on special teams, he will absolutely make this 53-man roster.
Told you. Hickman. And, by the way, I like the fact that he played it in the center field and he was able to track the football. See, a lot of these DBs be around here looking around like, oh, I took a bad angle at it. I like the fact that he got back there, cut the route off, and he got to work on his return skills.
No, he got tackled as soon as he touched it. But the thing, like I said, it's good. It's not great because the great part of it be he wouldn't have been enticed by that guy sitting down. He would have been in the post. And like I said, if he was where he was supposed to be to begin with, it would have been essentially him catching a punt return and he could have took off and got yards. But he got great makeup speed and he played the ball really well and made a play on it. So that would be the next step, to not bite the cheese.
So most teams keep how many corners? 5, 6?
He's a
corners. He plays safety.
Hi.
And they keep 4. Oh. Five corners, 4 safeties.
That's a bad job out of me. Yeah. Okay, so how many? 4 safeties, right? 5?
4 safeties.
All right, so we got Delpit, we got Thornhill.
McLeod, you have your 3 locks.
Yeah.
McLeod, and then you got DeAnthony Bell.
Or him.
What about Tanner McAllister?
We don't know him.
He's from Ohio State. He played like nickel.
He's an Ohio State guy too,
He played nickel at Ohio State.
So it's between Hickman and DeAnthony Bell.
Yep. Because I haven't seen Tanner even out there, actually,
to
be honest with you.
Okay.
Minimowski.
So that was the first interception for Ronnie Hickman.
Yeah.
That was, I'd say, the easier of the 2. The second one was a hell of a play on the ball. And Tyvis, we have 2 different angles of that play. So if you want to break that down for the people, let's see that. Anthony, you take the second play, and Tyvis, take it away.
So this one is a little bit better. They look like they in cover 3. You could tell. No, they might be in man. They in man on this one. So if they're in man on this one right here, then he's truly at a post safety. And they're in the red zone, so you don't really want to go into the end zone, which he does a great job selling his feet right there. Makes a clean break, Well, I would like his feet to be a little bit more tighter, but I'm nitpicking on that one. But you can see the break and drive on the ball. He comes straight down, attacks the ball, and rips it from the defender. That right there is stuff that gets you on the 53-man roster right there, making plays on the ball. Because like G. Bush just said, DBs don't play the ball well. This is a kid here who knows how to play the ball and knows how to finish. That's the thing. You can get there, but a lot of people don't finish. And he finishes by snatching the ball out of his hand, rips it away while they on the ground. So, because if you catch the ball with the wide receiver, if y'all simultaneously catch it, it goes to the offense. Right. He does a great job of ripping it from him, taking the ball, so it's clear an interception. He do stuff like this and continue to make plays like this, then this will definitely land him on the 53-man roster.
What do you mean when you say you want him to keep his feet tighter?
His feet. So when you look at his back pedal, his feet kind of gets wide a little bit. And what happens when you get wide is you step under yourself. But if you keep them close, it's boom, boom. It's a 1-2 thing. Now, don't get me wrong.
When you say get under yourself, you mean like kind of lose balance a little bit?
Yeah, like you step in the bucket. You step, put your weight back.
So you're not as able to get back.
So when you're backpedaling, you always want to keep your feet down. You want to keep your chest down, and you want to keep your feet tight. So then you break. If you lean in forward, your body's already forward leaning. Right. So you just run out of it and you break on it quicker. If your feet is wide and you back, when you take your break step, your shoulders go back like this before you go, and they call it stepping in the bucket.
So the fact that he didn't have great footwork going back is even more impressive that he was able to get up and make that play.
Because if you, but I'm just being nitpicky. Like I'm trying to go from good to great. Right. I'm trying to make sure that he's
it's not like
great.
It was a disaster.
Everything was good.
It could be tighter.
But if he made his feet tighter, his break would be more smoother. Maybe he catches in and he runs through it and keeps on running.
This is just goes to show you the difference between practice and regular games. He's able to run through the football in the game because he's like, okay, I got equipment on. I'm about to jump this route. So
you can't do that in practice.
And think about it like this.
Now you got to pull off.
How many? To me, I don't know, Tyvis. Let me ask you this. Is this a product of Jim Schwartz's defense? Because last year and a lot of years prior to this, I saw the safeties playing at 900,000 feet. They playing on a Goodyear blimp. They playing in the Muni lot. No safety. Jabril Peppers wasn't.
Jabril Peppers is still out.
He's still out in the Muni lot waiting on that next deal.
G-Dub had us playing at 20. And I used to be at practice. When I did that OTAs and we lined up at 20, they walked us through why they did it. And I understood why they did it, but I'm like,
if you scared, go to church.
because the way they did it, so G-Dub's defense was
Greg Williams, by the way.
I'm sorry. GW is Greg Williams. So Greg Williams' defense, by the way, is cover 2 based. Okay, and the difference between him and everybody else is everybody else pretty much runs cover 3 as a base. Okay, so you got your linebackers and your down safeties kind of setting the edge. Well, in G-Dub's defense, your corners is the guys who keep contained.
Yeah.
Okay, and obviously in cover 3, they're out of there. But in cover 2, they're setting that hard edge, so nothing gets past them. And you're okay. The corners can play aggressively because the safeties are 20 yards off. So if anything happens, the safety should be right there to be able to erase it. Yeah. Whereas in cover 3, you got to stay on top of all your routes. That's kind of what they teach you, stay on top of the routes. So that's why they slide you off at 20, because if the corner makes some mistakes or sees something wrong and they fire and take off and it's a pass, you can erase it. That's why they lined us up like that. I hated it, but that's what it was. What it was.
Why would you put the onus on the smallest guys on the field?
Because you want to be aggressive on the run game. So the way, so corner, playing cover 2 corner is like this. You was lined up inside, but you was looking in the backfield. So if you thought it was run, you could take off right now. It ain't no read steps, nothing. Take off and set the edge right now, because that means that you set the edge. They can't get outside of you. They cut it back, and all your linebackers and D-line is right there. But if it's a regular cover 2, obviously you press the guy up and you hinge back, and then you come up late. But with G-Dub, you inside, and you pretty much looking at the backfield. And as soon as you rerun, you got the right to just trigger. Because you covered, because the safety got your back if you wrong. That's the way they looked at it.
Yeah, I guess I would rather have my.
I don't know how we got on G. I don't even know how we got on G-Dub.
By the way, I was watching. I was in one of these Instagram spirals again yesterday.
Of course,
reels.
The rabbit hole.
And one of them, I love watching these videos from Travis and Jason Kelsey. They have some.
They're awesome.
Hilarious stuff. One of them was talking about how often they use soap and shampoo, whatever. But this one time they were actually talking about football. And I was surprised. Jason Kelsey said He said, including quarterback. He said cornerback is the hardest position in football.
It is.
Because you do everything backwards.
It is.
And just that you lose the guy for a second, you're done.
Yeah. There's you're gonna get beat.
All
But
right.
you wouldn't think
70%
an
of the
offensive
time.
lineman would say
I got
that.
one more play to break down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
speaking of getting beat, we
Yeah,
talked
I'm
about
to say,
two
y'all
very impressive plays from Ronnie
right
Hickman.
on.
There you go.
This was a great transition. He was not a flawless game from the Ohio State rookie. And Tyvis, you can break down this. We have both angles, the all-22 and the broadcast angle. We'll start with the broadcast angle, but this is Ronnie Hickman trying to guard Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, so this is the thing that gets me about, Jim Schwartz's defense. Our safeties.
That was that Delta play.
Listen,
A couple weeks ago.
Listen, so the thing about our safeties is you have to be able to check. At times, you're going to have to be able to check receivers as well. Usually, in NFL defenses, safeties are protected because they're checking tight ends. But in Jim Schwartz's defense, as you know, Malcolm Jenkins had times where he lined up on wide receivers. So for this particular route right here, why did this play go bad? Because they came out there in man-to-man. So when they run man-to-man, how they run it, and how typically a lot of people run their one coverage, their cover one is that you play outside leverage. You play on the outside shoulder, so if he runs an out route, you should be all over. If he runs a corner route, you should be all over it. Well, in this particular route, Jahan Dotson does a great job of selling that over route. And what happened is Ronnie Hickman understands the speed that Jahan Dotson got. You see how right then off the snap, he didn't even take no read steps or nothing. Jahan Dotson was on him immediately. So what does that mean is now I need to get on my horse because if he runs this over route, I ain't going to be able to get there. So Ronnie Hickman in his mind is thinking I need to cut this over route over. He didn't play it the way he should have played it. If he would have just stayed on the outside pad, even if Jahan Dotson beat him on the over route, it's a post safety right there on the post route, and it's a whole player linebacker right there. So you got inside help. They tell you that you have no help, but you can see that linebacker backing up right there.
Yep.
Boom. So you got the inside help. Tell the at least he's not going to cut the route, but he's going to buy that time. So the quarterback's going to look, hold the ball for a second because I can't throw the whole shot, so it'll buy you time to catch up. So on this play, Ronnie Hickman just get caught guessing on the route. Jahan Dotson does a great job breaking that thing back out on the out/7 cut. They got to do a way better job of tackling because DeAnthony Bell and Ronnie Hickman does a horrible job tackling right here. If at the worst, I don't care if you get it down on the 1 yard line. You defend every blade of grass because you never know what happens on the 1 yard line. It's been so many times people have had a goal line stand, which would have been huge. It would have been a nail in the coffin for the Washington Commanders. So they got to do a better job of getting them down.
Well, we saw the Browns unable to score inside the 5 on their first drive.
Exactly.
So
you defend every blade of grass. I don't care what. You always give your defense a chance to come out and play defense.
And I think your point is on that play. Right, better to lose them in the middle than on the outside.
Because you got help. All your help. They tell you in cover one that you have no help. That's a lie. In cover one, you have help. You have a post safety and a hook player.
All right.
In cover 0, you on your own.
Excellent analysis from Tyvis there. By the way, what are your thoughts on touchdown and sack celebrations from veteran players in the preseason? Are we okay with that?
Do you think, Woody?
Yeah. Why
All
not?
right.
Well, it's the thing that when you playing, you got to be in the whole atmosphere to pass.
So you're just in the moment.
Yeah.
You're not thinking it's a preseason game.
No. Because it's all.
I
It's a
understand with young guys.
Well, you got to think about this, especially on a sack. It's a relief for a sack because you go in all these practices, you can't touch the quarterback.
That's true.
They get double team, you can't get home, they 3-stepping you, ball coming out quick, and you finally get that sack.
Man, it's a par trois.
Yes.
Mikey McNuggets.
Tyvis, you're not here tomorrow, so I want to ask this to you. Bull and G, we'll talk about this tomorrow, so just let Tyvis go. But
Okay.
Hickman had a breakout performance against Washington. What do you want to see from him tomorrow night, as in that next progression that he needs to take to make this 53-man roster?
You talking about Ronnie Hickman?
Yes, correct.
Well, I think he just need to continue to be where he needs to be, So like how I was saying on them post routes, he was caught just a tad bit short, and it was his playmaking ability that kind of saved him. Well, now they pointed that out. If a good coach has gotten him and did film session with him, they're going to tell him, why were you even enticed by this guy sitting down? Like you see these linebackers right here just continue to back up. So for him to take that next step, it's about just continuously showing that you understand the playbook, you understand where you fit in the defensive scheme. Because these coaches have to be able to trust you when if Juan Thornhill goes down and you're the next guy in line. It'd probably be Roddy McLeod. But anyways, let's say you're the next guy in line.
Right.
That coach's job is on the line. His name is stamped to you. So if you don't perform, they're not going to say the player's not good. They're going to say, why wasn't your guy ready to play? Why didn't you have this kid coached up to play? We kept him on the 53-man roster because you said that this guy could help us in the fall. So if he didn't get it done, it's on you. So now you playing with a coach's job. So for him, he needs to take that next step of making sure that he understands exactly where he needs to be. Alignment and assignment sound for the next 2 games. And like I say, if he makes some plays on special teams, that right there solidifies it. If I was him, I'd go to Bubba Ventrone and tell him, you know what? Special teams is the most underappreciated thing in the game of football. They don't understand the magnitude that we have, that we could change the whole outcome of a game. What can I do to help this team win games in the fall?
Yeah.
If he has that conversation right there, Bubba Ventrone to take it back to Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry and say, you know what? This guy gets it. This guy wants to play for us. This guy wants to help us win games in the fall so much that he doesn't even care about what's going on defense. He wants to make an impact on special teams. He's truly invested in this organization. They'll keep a guy like that. It's all about playing the game.
Did you ever say that?
I sure did. Now you think I made the 50?
That's where I figured you got it from.
It's right here in this paper. You see who wrote that down?